Good evening, fellow YouTubers. As promised, I told you I was going to go live tonight. Getting so many comments and so many questions about, as far as new guys getting paid and what have you. Each company is different. So welcome. If you got any questions, ask me here in the live chat. As far as the trainee pay goes, each company is different. When you're if you're in a truck with a trainer fresh out of school, obviously you're probably not going to get mileage pay. So you'll get paid X amount of dollars per day. Like I said, each company is different. So we're going to talk about trainee pay to new driver pay. Now, each company is different, like I said. To say, for instance, if you're getting um, in a trainer's truck, I'm going to use Western Express, for example, because I used to be a trainer there, so I know exactly what they get paid. What if you're flatbed or dry van over at Western Express, coming out of a trucking school and going over there? They pay $92.50 a day for each day that you're on the truck. You're with the trainer for a minimum of 70 hours. The maximum is 240 hours, and that's driving. Total driving hours. Not your on duty time, your driving time. That's down towards your training. And, well, most companies are more like that. Where you get paid by the day and your driving actually counts towards your training. Now, each trainer is going to teach you, um, well, if the trainer is worth his salt, they're going to teach you how to properly back that truck up. What if it's at a shipper receiver or a truck stop? They should teach you load planning, uh, trip planning, rather. Fueling, um, sending and receiving messages on your onboard computer, gizmo, gadget, tablet, Welcome People Net, whatever that company has. They're going to teach you about the e-logs, which is the electronic logs, and they're going to teach you about uh, how to change your excuse me duty status to. They're going to change your duty teach you how to change your duty status, your proper pre-trip. Like I said, if that trainer is actually worth his or her salt, they will teach you how to properly perform a pre-trip and post-trip inspections on your truck, well, on their truck. And they should teach you how to plan your routes and where you're going to stop to do your 30-minute breaks, to getting your pilot, flying J, loves, TA, and petrol cards, your points cards. Excuse me for a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. These right here. That is for your TA and Petro. This is a driver rewards card. You can get one of these at a TA or Petro by answering all the questions on the kiosk, your name, address, what have you. This will help you accumulate points per gallon. And over 50 gallons of fuel, diesel fuel, you earn a free shower credit. This is your Pilot Flying J rewards card. And there's an app on the phone for that, that you can get on your iPhone or your Android devices to link this card up with it. And well, it's a My Loves rewards card. I feel at all three locations because sometimes, Loves can offer me as an owner operator better discounts than TA or Pilot, and sometimes Pilot will offer better discounts as well as TA or Petro. So now, a lot of people have asked me about the over-the-road life. Will you have much home life when you're on the road, over the road? I'm going to bust that myth right here, right now, on this live chat. Hopefully, you guys will start viewing my channel. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave some comments, all that good stuff. Because, well, I'm going to tell you right now, when you're over the road truck driver, you're not going to have much of a home life. A lot of times you're going to be gone 2 weeks or more before you get home. But each week you are out on the road earning a living, you can make good money. You just can. I have met plenty of owner operators and lease ops like myself, and they showed me their pay stubs after all their truck payments and all their fuel and maintenance and everything else. They're bringing 180 to 100K a year, which is not bad. Not bad at all. That's in the profits. Now, granted, of course, you will have to pay taxes on that. Well, hello, Sadaquat. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. As I was mentioning, I'm an owner operator with I'm lease op with U.S. Express. When you come out here on these trucks, you mentioned to me in your comment that you're a new driver. And, well, needless to say, new drivers who are just coming out into this industry, I welcome you. Owner-operator, like myself, or a lease op, we are responsible for paying for our own maintenance, our own fuel, our truck payments. If what if it's lease op or owner op? A lot of times, owner ops will have a truck payment through a third party lease carrier. If they bought it from Peterbilt or Kenworth or what have you. A lot of these guys, like myself, are lease ops or lease to purchase a truck through a carrier. Because of lack of credit or whatever. We still have a truck payment. We have maintenance. We have fuel. We have to pay for our own permits every year. Road use tax, tolls, fuel, and whatnot. And it so basically, owner operators have to pay for all that, and company drivers don't. Company drivers will have a particular assigned route on whatever load they do. If you're local driving, you home every night. If that is money that you want to make, more power to you. You're home every night and off most weekends. Uh, Company drivers, that are over the road, away from home for 2 weeks minimum before going home. But each week you're out, you're entitled to a day off. So you have to keep, contact with your dispatcher about when your home times are. And company drivers will have, access to the company benefits such as health insurance, such as dental, vision, 401k benefits, paid vacations, and things of that nature. And so, whoever said that you're going to make the most money OTR over the road, that's a myth. You're just not. Because I have met dedicated guys who are on a dedicated route, such as Walmart, Lowe's, or what have you. They have multiple stops, sometimes 4 or 5 stops per load. They're going to get the mileage pay, empty and loaded mileage pay from that distribution center to all those stores. Sometimes they'll have to unload them. Now, multiple stops usually equals up more than one delivery or one pickup. Now, the first one is all you're going to get is the mileage. Second one, extra stop pay. What if you have to unload, physically touch that freight? Then you're going to get unloading fee for each and every single stop. Now, I have met guys who are on the dedicated routes getting the same exact miles as an OTR driver, and dedicated guys bringing home 12, between 18 to 1900 a week. That depends on if they're a trainer or not. But OTR drivers are bringing home between $800 and $1,200 a week. So dedicated guys are getting paid more. Flatbed and heavy haul, there's a lot of good money in there, but it's a lot of work because you have to do strapping, chaining the loads, and tarping the loads. And those tarps are weighed between 250 pounds to 500 pounds each. So there's a lot of work involved in that. And there's permits for those heavy hauls, possibly escorts, train rentals, what have you. But if you're a company driver, you don't have to worry about those permits. You don't have to worry about paying for that fuel, and you dang sure don't have to worry about paying for those pilot cars. The company does. Let's see. What state am I currently in? I'm currently driving, doing my 10-hour break here in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. I'm actually waiting on to pick up my load first thing in the morning. In a place called Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. Tunkhannock has a Walmart distribution center there, and it also has Procter & Gamble. In this case, I'm actually going to be picking up Procter & Gamble. I'm going to be going to the great state of Michigan with it. Home of the Michigan Wolverines, which that's neither here nor there. That's also where the Coast Guard trains at. From what I understand, and that's also where the Navy trains at up there as well. So, shout out to my viewers who are military veterans. If you served in the Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, Army, what have you, thank you so much for your service. I want to give you a shout out there. To all you drivers coming in here who are new to the industry, congratulations for passing your CDL. Now, like I was explaining to drivers that are coming into the industry, you just got your CDL. You're going to go out with a trainer. All depends on what that particular company is. I would recommend that you would go do your research before you sign on to any company. I actually drive all 48 states. I'm an over-the-road driver. I am not a local driver, and I kind of wish I was, because I'd be at home with my son every night, tucking him in bed, and be able to be off on weekends. But I love being out here on the road, I love traveling. I love driving. I just do. I mean, I've been driving 16 years. I've been around these trucks since I was 8 years old. My dad got his CDL when he was 8 years old, and I got to ride with him in the truck for the first time right around that time. And it was only locally, but when I was sitting up there in that seat, I felt like king of the world. It's like, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. So after I got out of the service in 2006, in 2007, I went to CDL school at MTC, which is in a trucking company, which is in Hazelwood, Missouri, where I learned how to use paper logs and learned how to read a map and actually drive a stick. And then I went to Star Transport, which is no longer in business because it got bought out by Swift. That's where I got my stardom at. Did carnival rides. I did flatbed. I did worked at Mesilla Valley. Worked at Western Express, and 2 years local, and back to Western Express for 2 years, and now I'm going to lease up somewhere else. Yeah, I know. I need to quit smoking. It's driving me crazy. But what exactly are you looking for when you come into driving a truck? What is it? Uh, Sata or I'm sorry if I'm butchering your username. So I hopefully I well I like I said, I'm a lease op with a particular company, so they actually help me find the loads on their load board, and I get to pick and choose my loads. I get to go where I want, decide where I fuel, and how hard I drive, or whatever, and I decide when I go home. But I stay out here for about a month and a half, 2 months at a time, and then I go home for 3 or 4 days and spend some quality time with my son. Uh, as an owner operator, they have who has their own authority. I have my own authority as well. I just got it not too long ago. So if I did decide to go to whatever Freightliner or whatever and buy a truck through them and put so much down, and I pay the payments to a third party carrier, a third party lien holder, I would use like things like DAT or Mudflap or whatever to find my loads that way, or I can even go on to uship.com. There are you know, beautiful three of them right there that actually has brokers, what have you. Um, they help you find loads. You pay them so much, whatever, but you can find loads. And whatnot. And if you're going to get paid percentage, like from what I hear, TMC pays through their company drivers and their lease ops, um, you want to find out what load pays the most. If you're going to get paid, say, for instance, 30% as a company driver, which is not bad starting, but if I'm going to get paid 30% as a company driver, I'm going to find out what load options that I have that are out there. Say, for instance, if there's a load going to Ohio, going to San Diego, California. I'm going to use that as an example. That's approximately 2,100 miles. I already know that I'm going to need at least 2, maybe 3 fuel stops to get there. And and I already know that I'm going to be running across the Oklahoma Turnpike, so that's $40, $50 worth of tolls right there. I'm going to have to calculate how much fuel I'm going to need, and how much per gallon it is. But then again, if I was a company driver, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Uh, Company drivers are, they don't have to worry about that. They would, because all the expenses are paid by them, and they want to find out, oh, if that load is paying $2,000 from what you said, $2,100, go 2,100 miles. That's right around $1 per mile, and you're only getting 30% of that. As a company driver who has paid no expenses other than your own food and whatnot, if you think that makes you money, go for it. I wouldn't recommend taking a load that low. $1 a mile in today's economy, you'd be lucky to break even as a company owner. After paying tolls and fuel and other expenses, you're lucky to break even on that. And if you have a driver driving for you, you really are lucky if you break even. I wouldn't recommend taking a load for anything less than $2 a mile, especially with high cost of fuel. You are a truck dispatcher. So you're a dispatcher at a particular company. That's great. And like I said, Western Express pays $92.50 a day for their trainees who coming in, have to go up with students. I don't know what other companies are paying their students for being out on the truck with their trainers. I really do not know. Um, that's something that I would have to do a little bit more research in. If I decide, well, I'm not a rookie, so who is coming out of school, so I wouldn't have to do the research on how much they pay rookies. But as far as rookies would be concerned, before they sign on with Western Express or Night Swift or U.S. Express or what have you, I would highly suggest that they do the research. Uh, do they want to do flatbed? Do they want to do heavy haul? Do they want to haul cars? Do they want to haul tankers and hazmat or refrigerated? There are a lot of good companies out there that actually will give you a shot and train you how to do that job. But you got to find out which one is going to pay the most for their rookies. But, you know, and how much home time there is and whatnot. Uh, as far as when they get out their own, you got to find out, what do you want to do? Do you want to do over the road? Do you want to do local or work in the oil rigs or do refrigerated fuel freight or do you want to go dedicated routes? Do your research. That's what I would always tell everyone that I've ever trained in my day as a trainer. I would tell them, do your research, you know, and whatnot. And then when you finally do your research and you sign on with that company, stick it out. Learn how to drive that truck. Learn the business. Learn the ins and outs and whatnot. And basically, when the when you got your experience in, and if that company is not working out for you, the more experience you got, the more, and you keep your PSB clean, your CSA clean, your MVR clean, your DAC report clean, that's going to open up a lot of doors for you in this industry. And like I said, I am currently leased on with the company right now. I don't own this truck as of yet, but I already have my own LLC, my own authority, and whatnot. So I do have pretty good loads here, and so far I'm pretty happy here. So if you have any questions about, you know, uh, trucker stories, because you know, I guarantee you, I tell all my students, and all these guys are coming in, or girls, ladies, excuse me, coming into this industry. Do your research and find out what from the recruiters or the dispatcher or whatever about the what company it is. Uh, Listen to the go down to the truck stops and talk to the old timers who've been there. Some of these drivers have been driving since the 70s. Some of these drivers have been driving since the 80s or 90s or even the early 2000s like I have. And we got some stories. We got stories about how many accidents we've seen out there because somebody was doing something stupid like texting and driving, or uh, drinking and driving, or driving fatigue, or whatever. And we've got some stories about beautiful sights that we've seen, or uh, the routes that we took, the shippers and receivers that we dealt with. And a lot of us can answer those questions. If you have uh, any questions about what can you expect out here, if you're going to be leased onto a company, make sure that they, or work for a company, make sure they allow you to have a CB radio. Make sure that they can allow you to have a refrigerator in your truck, and a microwave, and a good, decent power inverter. Because if you're going to be on the road, even on dedicated, you really don't want to eat in the truck stops because it's too expensive. You will spend a lot of money out here on these roads uh, at the truck stops. So try not to spend too much at the truck stops. My advice would be like I said, get a refrigerator, freezer, and power inverter, microwave, and hot plate, and all that good stuff. You can get all that stuff at Walmart, but try not to park there in your truck unless you're actually delivering there. Because a lot of them will boot your truck, have your truck booted or towed. So, you know, yeah, a lot of truck stops will have washers and dryers if you got to wash your clothes on the road. Uh, but it's like $250 a wash, $250 a dry, and that's a lot of money to spend on washing your clothes when you can be dedicated home every weekend and wash your clothes at home for free because you already pay your own water bill at home. So, like I said, do your research and all that good stuff. So, if you have any questions about, you know, what stories do we have? Well, 16 years of driving a truck, I have seen just about everything. I've been all 48 lower states, and I have been into Canada more than once. I've been up there twice, both times to recover trucks. But I have seen LA more times than I care to count. I've seen New York City more times than I care to count. I've been seeing Miami. I've seen Reno. I've seen Vegas. I've not seen Carson City yet. I mean, I have seen just about every major city in the United States, in the lower 48. I've been in through the Rockies, and it is drop dead gorgeous out there. It's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, but it's gorgeous out there. So, like I said, when I end this live stream, which I will be here shortly, if you have any questions about what can you expect or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comments down below on this live stream here. If you want to know more about the company that I'm currently leased on to, feel free to shot me an email, which you can see on my channel what my email is, so you can hit me up on my email and you can ask me about the questions that the questions about the company I'm currently leased on to. If you decide to come over here, and if you get hired, I'll give you my driver ID, so that way you can let them know that I referred you. And if I decide to become a trainer here again, maybe you guys can ask me to train you. So if there's any questions that you want to ask about the company I'm with, about if you want to be a truck driver yourself, what you can expect, like I said, hit me up on my email. You can leave comments down below. Have your refrigerator, have a CB radio. For goodness sakes, buy a map. Don't rely on some Google Maps, because that's for cars, not for trucks. Don't rely on that Garmin GPS, and don't rely on that Rand McNally GPS, even though they do make maps. But read a map, and if you have to, contact your shippers and receivers. If you don't know where you're going, if you've never been there before, contact your shippers and receivers. They will be happy to give you truck directions into that shipper and receiver. Because ask them, say, hey, I'm driving a semi truck with a 13.6 trailer, and it's 53 foot long, and I don't want to end up on a route that trucks are not allowed on, because it could be a low clearance bridge or a very, very narrow road that's simply not wide enough for a truck to be on. That could be a good way to hit a bridge that's too low for you. That could be a good way for you to get stuck in a ditch. So, like I said, if you got any comments, leave them questions, leave them in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. And send me out an email. And if you want to send your trucking videos to me, by all means, send them to my email. And if I like them, I'll put them up here on this channel. If you got people doing the right thing, like getting out the load, doing a proper pre-trip, actually wearing shoes or boots, clean clothes, being a professional truck driver, send them over. We got way too many trucking, YouTube channels out there that are making fun of all the dumb stuff that we see out here on these roads. If you got something, some of that stuff, you feel free to send them over to Bonehead Truckers, you know, over there on his YouTube channel, because he'll send, you know, he posts up stuff like that every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday is four-wheeler Friday. Excuse me. Wednesday is Bonehead Truckers of the Week, and you got Sundays, Tales of the Truck Stop. So, if you got a bunch of videos or clips that you want to see up there on Bonehead Truckers, make sure that you send them over here to there. Or if you got help support this channel and give me some stuff that I can post up on here, we can have a chuckle together and make fun of all the dumb stuff that we see out here on these roads. By all means, send them over to me, because this is called How to Truck 101, and this is what we do. We are going to not only make fun of the dumb stuff we see out here on these roads together, but we can make this channel reach out to all the truck drivers out there, newer or veteran truck drivers, showing people how to properly drive these trucks down the road. And if you got any videos or clips of four-wheelers doing stupid stuff around us, or those two-wheeler motorized bicycles called motorcycles doing the dumb stuff out there on these roads, by all means, send them over to me. We are going to teach these evil four-wheelers and these evil two-wheelers how to properly drive around a big truck. All right? We just are. So, have a GPS, a road map, a trucker's atlas, because that's going to tell you where all the weigh stations are, tell you all the authorized truck routes and whatnot. Read a map. Contact your shippers, receivers for those, trucking directions into them. Be respectful to each other. Be respectful to your shippers and receivers and your brokers. Do not block the fuel islands. Just don't do that. Do not park on the scale or in front of it. Do not block that scale in any way. Do not slide your tandems on it. Do not slide your fifth wheel on it. Do not back up on it. Just pull forward and go park. Go park your truck. Don't throw your trash outside on the ground. Throw them in the trash cans that they are provided. And if you got to use the restroom, go use the bathroom where they are, inside the truck stop or the rest area. Don't piss on the ground. And don't do that other stuff down, number 2 on the ground is nasty. No one wants to step in it. No one wants to see it. No one wants to walk in your trash. No one wants to park in your trash or drive through your trash. That truck stop is not a landfill. Stop treating it like one. Use the trash cans provided. Clean up after yourself. When you start to back, get out and look. Walk around the entire rig. Use your four ways. Honk your horn. Do your pre-trips, your post-trips. Do your research before you sign on to any company. So I've been on here 39 minutes, basically talking to you guys out there. So, like I said, like, subscribe to the channel, watch my videos, leave some good comments, and you guys be safe out there. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. I'll see you guys on the road. Peace out.